What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Shinobi Squad Podcast. I'm fan service Renji.
I'm Shana Mostella.
Eyebrows are still not back in effect, so get used to it. I didn't realize how untanned under your eyebrow is. I didn't know eyebrows blocked out that much sunlight. But every day I walk in the mirror and I'm just like, damn, like who shined the light right here?
Well, nobody really shaves their eyebrows like that. I mean, unless you're Jeffree Star, but you know.
Like I said, we don't talk about him. He's a vampire.
Well, anyways.
One of my friends did say, well, maybe you can practice your cosplay eyebrows now. Nah, I can't draw steady
That's
enough.
a lot harder because you have to draw. Well, you can kind of see. You have like an after shadow on your face. So you can kind of like you have like a little guideline there for you.
If I start trying to draw my eyebrows, I'm going to have one eyebrow looking angry and one looking sad. I can't do it. I'll just wait.
Gotta get the lip liner to match.
Oh, yeah. Nah, I can't do that.
Looking scary.
Yeah. Anyways, enough about my lack of eyebrows. Let's talk about today's topic. Over the last couple years, I've noticed the rise of cosplay power couples, or at least people pretending to be them. So let's get right into it. What's your definition of a power couple?
Two people who work in the same industry, either one's the star, one's like the headliner, and the other person's like the business person, or they're both in the limelight, they're both working in some kind of way within the same industry, basically. It's people who work together for the same goal, I should say. It's like a more refined way of saying it. They're either both singers, one's a songwriter, one's a singer, the other maybe like one's the artist and the other one's like a designer, makes all the clothes, or like doing the business side, whatever it is.
I agree with your definition for the most part. I would broaden it up just a little bit to where each person in the relationship is talented, successful, and these two together combined their powers to make them a power couple. A lot of the time, these people are in the same industry. Mm-hmm. Two actors, two singers, Jay-Z and Beyonce, for example. They both got their shine through music, but Jay-Z has also become a very great businessman, and so is Beyonce. Mm-hmm. So, power couple. That's what I see it as. Just each person in the relationship, they doing their own thing.
Right.
And then when you combine them, they just even greater because now they know how to combine both their strengths together to make an even more powerful entity. It's like Power Rangers. It's when the Zords come together, they even more badass.
That's what I mean. I see it in a more personal way because I do follow a lot of celebrities on social media, and I see it's not enough for them to both be actors or both be musicians. I've always seen successful power couples as one being the star and the other one being the support, or they're both stars, but they help each other out.
Yeah.
They're not like, okay, this is one person and this is another person. They're not separate entities. They're combined as one.
Yeah, and that's a great point, too, that sometimes someone in the couple is just a support. Mm-hmm. They're the behind-the-scenes person.
Yeah.
They're still as equally important, but you don't see them out there like that.
Yeah.
So that brings it up to what I want to talk about. The cosplay power couples. I've been seeing this term thrown around on the internet for a while. Some hold truth, and some are like, really? Is that what you think a power couple is? And then I'm like, do I feel bad for the person who thinks that's a power couple? Because their definition and their expectations are not right. Or the couple that's embracing that and like, yeah, we're a power couple.
If you have to say yourself you're a power couple, you're not a power couple.
Oh, yeah. Every famous power couple in the world never label themselves a power couple. Their actions speak for them. Mm-hmm. Actions speak louder than words, and they just out there doing their thing, and people crown them that title.
Being a power couple isn't a career. It's not a career title. Mm-hmm. It's not what you strive to be. It's something that you essentially want in some way, shape, or form, especially if you are in the limelight like that and you are someone of, importance, or you're just out there doing your thing. You want someone who's going to be your significant other who understands that lifestyle. And I guess going further into what a power couple is, it's someone who supports you and understands your lifestyle and also helps push you further into the limelight and like keeps you there and helps you stay there and maintain it.
Yeah, it's someone that definitely contributes to what you're doing. So that's the other end too. Is like your partner doesn't have to be as famous, but they're still there and they're contributing to what you're doing. So I guess that's another extension of a power couple. Let's bring it into the cosplay world. I don't know why this trend even began or what sparked it. Once upon a time, a lot of cosplayers wanted to appear single. Marketing reasons. It's been tried and true for entertainment. People hide their relationships. Cosplayers were always single, especially the popular girl cosplayers. It's going to get you more sales. Obviously, sex sells. People want to support you because sometimes they think they have a shot with you.
I can definitely validate that, especially someone who's been out there, who's been a dancer on stage, who's been on Instagram, who's been on OnlyFans, and I've had that same attention on me as well.
People want to show some of these cosplayers support because they have ulterior motives as well. They want to support your career, but this is also a way to bring them closer to you. So if you're single, they're definitely going to spend more money on you.
Like if someone thinks that they have a chance with you, they'll get into very quickly what you're into.
Oh yeah,
it's real quick.
Yeah, it's a chance to buy them time with you. It makes sense why there was a time where cosplayers were just like, nope, I'm single. I've heard about the secret boyfriend club that you would never know this girl's with this guy or this guy. If y'all don't know, there's a secret boyfriend club out there in the cosplay world.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of these girls be pretending they're single, but they're not. Then at some point in recent times, there was a shift to where it was cool to be in a cosplay relationship. I started seeing a lot of people not only try to promote their significant other to boost them up, but they're just public about it. They went as far as doing like a cosplay couples page. I've filmed people at cons and they were like, we're a cosplay couple duo. Okay, cool. They would tell me their individual names and their cosplay couple name. That started happening more often and it had me thinking, is the cosplay couple thing the trend now?
As a female, I could see how that could benefit somebody to keep the creeps away. And I've also seen people on Instagram, social media, whatever it is, like just do that. And like sometimes I've seen like really, really obscure cosplay couples on there, like anime coupling and stuff like that, but they'll just go far with it.
Yeah.
I remember seeing this one page where it was Kakashi and some random ninja that he came across in one of the Shippuden episodes or whatever. That pairing with Kakashi might have only lasted like maybe 2 episodes at the most.
Yeah.
But this couple that I saw, their whole Instagram was dedicated to that couple pairing. And I'm like, that's a stretch. You could say that maybe Kakashi had a thing with her at some point or whatever. I think it's more like a fan fiction kind of thing. But like this couple just milked it all the way. She was a very attractive woman, but she also had a kid too. So she probably just did that to like ward out every creeper out there.
A lot of girls on Facebook would set their status to in a relationship with so-and-so just so people would stay away. I've actually had friends where I'm like, oh, congratulations on your new relationship. They'd be like, yo, it's not real. Oh, okay.
But I've seen them do it sneaky where they don't say anything about the person. Like, you might scroll down their social media page and see, like, a guy with them or a girl with the guy or vice versa, whatever it is. You just see all these pictures with the pairing. And I'm like, so are they together or, you know. But it's a deterrent. It's still a deterrent. Like, they don't have to say anything. But if you're a creeper or a stalker, you're going to see that and be like, oh, crap. Like, there's someone there.
They're not saying anything to capitalize off of people who still want to support them because they think they're single. But it's also a layer of security for the people that are looking further into it. So yeah, that's the half and half.
They're like putting it out there, but not saying anything. It's like, well, it's whatever you think. I'm not going to say anything, but well, sneaky assholes.
So let's talk about cosplay power couples. What's one that comes to mind off the bat?
Yaya Han and her husband, Brian Bowling. They're freaking amazing. They started off on social media as cosplaying together, from what I can remember. But now he's more behind the scenes, but you still know who he is because he's always at the booth. If Yaya isn't at that convention, you always see Brian there.
Yeah.
her counterpart. They recently just got married towards the end of last year, and I'm so happy for them. But when it comes to cosplay power couple, that's the first one that comes to mind.
Just throughout the years, they have developed this power couple relationship. Not only are they both cosplayers, they both know how to craft and put a costume together. A lot of people don't know, but Brian holds awards for an amazing Boba Fett cosplay. Once they got together, they combined their love and their skills to create an empire out of this cosplay world. Long story short, they built something from both their talents. A lot of people want to discredit Brian and say, it's all Yaya. She's out there being the personality and she's sexy and she's selling it. No, Yaya will be the first to tell you, I couldn't do this without Brian. Brian holds down a certain part of their business because for every convention that Yaya's got to put herself out there and be the face, that's stressful. There's got to be someone that holds her down. There's got to be someone that's there to be like, it's okay, it's okay. There's got to be someone that tells her to focus when she's stressed out. There's got to be someone that's there to make sure she eats. And on top of that, Brian runs the booth. He's a great salesperson. He also helps create their products. So they have this good equal balance of what they do. That makes them a power couple because they have built their business, their lifestyle together. Yes, Brian's not out there cosplaying anymore. He's not in the spotlight of social media, but he's always there behind the scenes. He's always contributing. Even with Yaya's latest collaboration with Capcom, they reached out to her to cosplay the tall-ass vampire lady from Resident Evil Village.
Lady Dimitrescu.
Anyways, tall vampire mommy. Capcom reached out to them and gave them like less than a week to make the cosplay, make the prop, film a tutorial, and film a stylistic video. These two had to bust ass. I was going to volunteer to edit the video and help them with it, but they took it upon themselves to get it done. Brian had to go out and buy a Steadicam or a motorized gimbal and learn how to use it to film this video in time while Yaya was working on the dress all at once. And then Brian had to step in and help make the claw. Because Brian knows how to make props, he helped step in and share his ideas with the props. If they didn't work together, this project would not have been done in time for Capcom.
And that right there is my definition, my true definition of a power couple, a cosplay power couple, I should say.
They both have talent, they both have skills, and they're both able to make up for when the other person lacks, and they can bounce back and bring it together.
What makes them a power couple is that one of them is always willing to learn how to pick up the slack when there's nobody else to call upon. Because during this pandemic and this COVID era that we're going through, they can't rely on people to come in and help them out all the time. So that right there is my true definition of a cosplay power couple, because Brian stepped the F up and went in there just guns blazing like, I got this. Put me on the game. Get me off the bench. Like he was just ready.
People don't give that man enough credit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, not to discredit Yaya in this relationship, but y'all know Yaya's story. Y'all see her out there, so no discredit to her, but y'all know the Yaya Han story. But people need to know about the Brian story.
Oh, yeah.
And the role he plays, because it is a vital role. Like, I've watched this man work the booth by himself and just knock it out the park. This dude's a salesman. This dude knows what to do, but when they're not at the con, he's also working in the warehouse. He's helping design new products. He's physically pouring plastic in the molds for some of their products. So behind the scenes, when they back at home, he working too. He ain't in the spotlight, but he putting in work, and without him, that success would not be there.
100%.
Yep. I'm sure that's a great example for people to want the power couple life. I've actually heard a few cosplayers talk to me about that. I wish I could have my own Brian in my life.
I know.
Brian also picked up photography. If y'all have ever bought prints from Yaya, a lot of those prints were photos that Brian took. So, again, he picked up that skill for the sake of the team.
Oh, yeah.
So I hear a lot of people talk about wanting their own Brian.
And let me just emphasize on that real quick, because during this quarantine, especially last year, we've had to improvise and do our own photo shoots with each other and for each other. Renji always takes my pictures, and there's been times when, we could call somebody up and they can fill in. But for the most part, Renji steps out of his own busy lifestyle to shoot me. But what I want to give emphasis on is that I've had to do that for him.
Yeah.
I've had to step up, learn how to, at least on the basic level, how to take pictures, and I've had to step up and take pictures of Renji, especially during quarantine when we couldn't call anybody, when there wasn't a vaccine available. I had to learn that too, and it's not easy, especially when it's someone who has their own thing going for them. Like, I'm behind the scenes in my own way. I make most of our cosplay. The sewing part is me. The props is him. Mm-hmm. So we bounce off each other all the time. But when it comes to stuff that I don't do all the time, or I don't have practice of, like taking pictures, it's hard. It's hard to just stop what you're doing and pick up a new skill. Yeah. It's really hard. So that's why I'm giving Brian even more credit, because I've been there. I know that it's so hard. And I would not even know how to pick up a gimbal or a Steadicam. I was about to say motion stick.
Motion stick.
That's how not skilled I am in this profession. But I've had to do it. And I definitely give him props, because I'm just sitting there like, where's the button? Is this thing on? Where's the on button? How do I plug this in? Being all old school.
Definitely. There was a need in their business, in their partnership, and he filled it.
Oh, yeah. And they edited it. Somebody edited it, had to edit this video, and it turned out...
They had to do it.
Amazing. It turned out so good. Like, I can't even do that. I couldn't fathom doing some of those cuts and some of those movements. And I couldn't even fathom using a movement stick.
Oh, yeah. The video edits seem simple to people who edit video, but Yaya and Brian don't edit videos.
Yeah.
Yaya has bitched so many times about not liking editing videos, and that's why I stepped up. I was like, yo, homie, if you need help, I can help you with that. They were like, no, we got to learn this sometime.
No, honestly, like, they really could have just called us up, because we at least have the first vaccine shot, so that we really could have, like, helped if they really needed it.
Yeah.
Again, like, they stepped up and was like, no, we got this. This is a tag team duo here. Yeah. We got it. Don't worry about it. And they shined. They shined on the final product, and it was amazing.
Yeah, they've said, no, we need to learn how to do this, because we have another non-disclosure project for a major streaming network. We can't name who, but so excited this is due next week, and we pretty much have to do the same thing, so we can't expect people to keep coming and bailing us out. We made these deals, we signed these contracts, we got to do it, and that's why I got so much respect for them.
I have so much respect.
They stressed out so much over it, but they did it. That's what a power couple does. They take the challenge head on.
And it does come in clutch, because you never know when the next pandemic's going to show up and ruin everyone's life. So at least you got a skill,
Yeah. We both learned the skill of photography because we needed pictures for content. All right. So another power couple I can think of real quick is Jessica Nigri and Ryan, fake nerd boy. Once their relationship became public, I think that's when a big shift happened. A lot of people didn't know who Ryan was. To be honest, I didn't know who he was either. Don't quote me on this, but from what I heard, before Ryan, she was in this long-term relationship with someone that most of us don't know. The relationship was never public. Then when Ryan came around, it was public. It went from Jessica being single to here's me and Ryan in everything. Every con, here we are. And they just became a thing. Ryan has been there ever since he appeared on the scene. You see him everywhere. Jessica is always posting about him. The funny thing is, I've seen dudes on her like Instagram say shit like, I'm following you to see you, not your boyfriend. Like, that's how much she posts about him, that people on her Instagram are complaining that they're sick of hearing or seeing Ryan. That was also an eye-opening moment for me as well. Jessica obviously has capitalized off of sex appeal. She's never denied that, and that's what I give her power for. She knows her brand. She knows what she's doing, and she's not ashamed of it. As much hate as she's gotten, she's like, you know what? I'm a bad bitch. I got nice titties. I've been working out. Look at my ass. What? And you can't knock her for that. Here comes Ryan like, yeah, that's my girl. All y'all want to talk shit, but all the money you spend on her bought us a house. I mean, he didn't say that, but I'm just.
But we all see it.
Yeah, I'm just paraphrasing in my head what he is saying.
He didn't say it, but we was thinking it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He like ching ching.
Well, he know that we know that he know.
Yeah. Those are the first two power couples that come to my mind in cosplay. And they have benefited off of that. A lot of people did question, like, why would you tell the world who your boyfriend is? You can make more money. But I think because of they shifted to this couples thing, it's boosted their career even more. With the rise of Jay-Z and Beyonce, for example, a lot of people started appreciating a good relationship that's also a successful relationship. I think that's what sparked this whole trend of like cosplay couples. I'm happy when I see real ones, but then I get so sad for the forced ones.
Oh yeah.
So let's talk about that. Let's just get right into it.
I've seen time and time and time, year and year and year, all the time.
Year.
When a cosplayer, mostly it's the female who's the cosplayer, and they're always making their significant other, either they're forcing them to cosplay something or they're forcing them to be on their YouTube videos, or it's like, okay, now we're gonna make a new cosplay or do some cooking thing. It's like, and then you see the boyfriend or so-and-so in the background like chopping onions, like, okay, I guess, like, whatever. Or like you see them poorly cosplaying something just so they can be like a pairing to their girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever it is. And it's always these people who are trying to be bigger than their britches. Like, it's always, every time I see something, once a female or the male gets a little bit of buzz and then they want to hijack somebody to be in their life, basically. Yeah. I don't even agree or believe that that person's actually with them, like, out of genuine interest. I think that they just hijack this person and exploiting that person to be a part of their shit.
I feel bad for the cosplay couple. No, I shouldn't even say cosplay couple. I feel bad for the person in the relationship that's forced to be a cosplay couple. Sometimes the significant other doesn't even want to be involved.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, you want to go to cons, cosplay, cool. I'll see you when the weekend's over. But their significant other is hell-bent on making them cosplay. And they don't want to. And you could see it in their face at the con or in pictures that they don't want to be there.
Oh, yeah.
I've had friends go as far as confessing to me how hard they've tried to get their significant other to cosplay. They're always like, Renji, you've been with Shana, your ex before that. How do you get them to cosplay? Pause right there. How do I get them to cosplay? That's the key phrase. Well, the secret is I didn't get them to cosplay. They were cosplaying on their own.
That's kind of like saying, how'd you get your dog to wear that outfit? It's like, oh my God, like, do I have to explain this to you?
Yeah, the key thing is I didn't make anybody cosplay. I met them in the con world. They were already cosplaying on their own. So fast forward to the present, that's why you see me and Shana always cosplaying. You don't see us cosplaying together because no one is forcing the other person to pair with them.
Referring to one of our older podcasts about finding someone who has similar interests as you, as a significant other, step one, go to the place where you will find these people and like interests. Like, go to a convention, go to a arcade, go to a barcade, go somewhere where you're gonna find people who have the same interests as you, and then there you go.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of these people have boyfriends or girlfriends outside the con world, outside the nerd world.
Got regular jobs and everything. You just don't give a shit about the con world or anything.
You're not going to be able to force them into doing this because cosplay is a lifestyle. You really have to be about that life because it's money and it's time.
And you're lucky enough to find someone who will agree and support you on like low-key kind of way. You're lucky that that person doesn't leave you just you having an interest in video games and cosplay and you being weird on the weekends, you know, with your nerd friends. Yeah, it's like hard enough to find someone who's gonna love you no matter what, but it's another thing to find someone who's gonna cosplay with you and be about that life with you.
I remember one of the first times my friend went to a con with me. He was low key like into anime and he was nerdy, but he never was really vocal about it. He wanted to go to con with me because it looked so fun. He had to explain that to his baby mama, and she was like, "Oh, so you're gonna leave me for a weekend because you want to dress up like a ninja?" We were all into Naruto that time, and she just let him have it. "You don't want to be here with your kids because you want to go play ninja dress up with Renji. Is that what you're telling me?" Yes. And he left her ass for the weekend, and he got an earful when he came back, but he had a great weekend, though.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's hard enough to find people to be in your life who support you dressing like ninjas and dressing like Sailor Moon for the weekend. For some people, for most people, that's enough.
Yeah.
So
just be happy you can go play dress up with your nerdy friends. But it's not enough. Bringing it back to what I said, my friends have been upset with their significant other and have asked me for advice. How do I get them to come do this? And that's not the way to go.
No.
You can't force them. All you can do is give them reasons to go. I don't want to get into all that. That's a whole nother topic. But some of these people that I'm referring to, these fake cosplay power couples, you can tell that the significant other doesn't want to be there. And it shows.
Or that they don't cosplay on their own enough to even know how to help you.
Yeah.
And especially the people who don't make their own cosplay, it's like you can't expect them to, like, unless you're going to buy a cosplay for them, like on the same order as you. I don't know how that's going to work out.
No, like I've known girls who are willing to make their boyfriend's cosplay or they have made their boyfriend's cosplay and they're like, "Ugh, can I take this off yet?" They'll go take a picture and he'll be like shoulder slump, like, "All right, battle pose. All right, love pose. Okay, death scene." For y'all not on the YouTube version of this podcast, I just did the same pose, shoulder slump, jaws dropped open.
Slump jaw.
And that's what you see in these pictures. And these poor people keep taking their significant other from con to con, forcing them to do it. And it's like, that's not how you get a power couple. That's just on the cosplay aspect. Then there's the worker aspect where one person's a cosplayer, but then they need the other person to work.
Or be the handler.
The most popular two are the photographer and the handler. Oh my God, are there so many relationships with photographers? Sometimes I think that these people aren't even into the other person. It's just they happen to already be a photographer. Or if they're not, they better learn how to do it real quick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this sounds very superficial and judgmental, but I've seen some very unattractive photographers with some very hot-ass cosplayers. And then sometimes on a superficial surface level, you're like, how? How? But then you go on their Instagram and it's like, that mofo takes some dope ass pictures, and that answers all my questions right there.
And I would love to see that over people who don't genuinely want to take your picture and genuinely don't want to be in the con world with you and genuinely don't want to be in that cosplay that you force them to be in. I'd rather see like an ugly person who at least contributes to the culture and loves the culture by themselves without you having to make them do anything.
But sometimes I feel those people are being used.
I see where you're going with that. I see where you're going.
That's what I'm saying. Some of these guys or girls just happen to be really good photographers. And I'll take it deeper. There's some people I know personally who have been single. All of a sudden, they started showcasing their amazing photography skills. And all the cosplayers flock to them like, "Hey, boo."
It's like, I can tolerate this for a weekend, I guess.
Guys and girls, not going to even say it's one-sided because it's been on both ends. I've seen cosplayers throw some booty at a photographer to get a good shoot for the weekend and a couple good shoots afterwards, and they get into these relationships, but really, they just there for the photos.
Okay, but those people that you're talking about are already photographers. They're already taking pictures. If not with their significant other, they're doing it for everybody at the convention. I've seen time and time again where there's significant others out there who are forced to go as far as taking a class, a photography class, to, learn how to take pictures and learn lighting and learn this and learn that. I've learned it on a basic level, but there's people who I've seen make their significant other go through these things and go through these classes to learn upscale, top of the notch techniques and how to do certain things just for this cosplay world and their cosplay pictures. And I'm like, that's a bit much.
That really is. There's also this underlying complaint that I've heard about girls in the Patreon world and the OnlyFans world, to where they want to discredit someone else's success because they have a significant other that's helping them. I get it. It is helpful when you have someone in your life that has these skills. There's been some people that have been super bitter and just like, well, if I only had someone in my life that could take all my pictures, I'd be way more successful.
Oh, yeah.
So I get why some people would force their significant other to go buy the equipment and learn how to do this shit.
Oh, yeah.
If they want to or not.
People have no business knowing what to do with a flash or anything, gimbal or whatever. And it's like, are you certified to use that, sir? Like, what are you doing?
And some of the shit gets expensive. I feel bad for some of these couples that are in that position, because a lot of the times when the other person is forced into it, they're not going to do it for long.
Oh, yeah.
Then this couple spends all this money to be this power couple just to quit. I've seen so many people start Patreons and OnlyFans, and they're all hyped in the beginning. So the boyfriend learns photography and they spend all this money. And then after like 3-4 months, they just quit because he's not into photography. She's not into creating content that much. And then all that money just goes to waste.
I've seen people go as far as their significant other is already in the limelight. They might not be a professional cosplayer or things of that nature, but they're in the industry in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
They might be working within Comic-Con aspects. They might be working in Anime Con aspects in some way, shape, or form, but they're known. Like, this person is a part of this thing.
Yeah.
These cosplayers use that to their advantage to try to be these cosplayers who are up-and-comers, try to use that person to try to up their status within the community and try to put their name attached with that person's name and try to lift themselves up.
They're like ladder climbers.
Ladder climbers, yes. And these are the same people who were, they're doing all right on their own, but they need that boost, that booster seat, what I like to call them.
Yeah.
And that's not really fair to that person who's already in the industry. I mean, unless that person like really cares about you and you have a mutual thing going on. But like, it's another thing when you're like going out of your way to know this person and going out of your way to find out more about this person and be around in the same cliques as that person.
Yeah.
You're inserting yourself in something that you were never a part of.
There's a time and a place for that. Even if you're dating that person, your significant other does not owe you their professional contacts and plugs.
Oh, yeah. It's not fair to that person because that person has worked their way into the industry because they work in that industry.
Yeah.
For example, working in the gaming industry, they get invited to E3, the gaming convention, the really big gaming convention out there. And there was a time when normal consumers weren't allowed to go to these things unless you were invited into it.
Yeah, E3 used to be closed to the public until recent years. Like, a normal person could not buy a ticket. You had to work in the gaming industry.
Oh, yeah. And I saw that time and time again with that too. I'm like, you do not work in the gaming industry. You do not get an invite. You weren't even thought of in this whole pot. For me, I've seen it time and time and time again. And with this, I've seen a specific couple who one person was a cosplayer and the other person was within the industry, cosplay industry, Comic-Con industry, whatever the case. And this cosplayer worked their way and wormed their way into that person's world. And that's how they became who they are today. And I don't agree with it. It's like, do you, boo-boo, I guess, if that person is in with it and you're in it for the right reasons, but I've seen it for all the wrong reasons.
And it definitely feels suspect. They started as friends, then they started dating, and then all of a sudden, every event this person was a guest at, the significant other all of a sudden was a guest at too.
Yeah.
And every time one person had something, the other person was involved in some way, shape, or form. And it's like, are you dating this person because you really care, or are you just trying to ladder climb?
It's like, I wonder why you were there. I
Yeah,
wonder
and
why.
I'm throwing all the shade out to anyone that does that because
Mhm.
you're playing with someone's emotions. Like, you're playing with someone's heart. Like, you're dating this person just to use their resources. Sad to say, it happens a lot in the convention scene. A lot of people don't want to talk about it because it's kind of embarrassing.
And I'm going to put it out there. The same person that I'm specifically talking about tried to get in cahoots with you and me because we know certain people within the industry.
Yeah.
Because we have worked with certain people, I'm not going to say who, because we've gotten a piece of the pie, a piece of the action, and this person tried to worm their way back the same way that they wormed their way in with their significant other, tried to do the same thing to us. And I don't appreciate that. I've seen it and I've experienced it firsthand. It's not cute. It's not a good thing, especially moving to a new state, us leaving all of our friends and family back in the Midwest and moving to a new state, trying to make new friends, trying to learn the industry and trying to, like, you know, have friends, like, or just genuine friends. You can't trust everybody that you meet.
Yeah.
You can't.
I'll take it a step further. I'll put this person on blast without saying who they are. They never took any interest in my YouTube.
Nope.
In any videos I shot. All of a sudden, I had a vlog that was about the weekend I spent with Yaya Han at San Francisco Comic-Con. I'll get specific. I posted that on my YouTube and my Facebook. All of a sudden, my inbox is blowing up. You got to work with Yaya for a weekend? If you watch this vlog, you see me and her at the booth. We working. That's normal. But then after hours, when the con was done, Yaya and I were just kicking it in Chinatown. And we vlogged all that. And that's what sparked this cosplayer's interest.
All of a sudden,
they noticed that Yaya and I were on a personal level in this vlog. Because we were at this Chinese restaurant, and quick story about that, we were ordering some food, right? And then the tea glass slid across the table, and me and Yaya were like, did you see that shit? And we thought the Chinese restaurant was haunted. And I started trying to wobble the table, and the table was level. And Yaya and I were like, oh shit, I think this is haunted. So we sat back and we watched to see if it would happen again. And we filmed all of it. But anyways, in this vlog, you can see that her and I are actual friends. This cosplayer didn't know that Yaya and I were actual friends. She thought I was hired to work at the booth. And for those that know Yaya, everyone that works at her booth, it's not a random hire. It's not like she's putting a Craigslist ad. These are personal people that she trusts and are friends with. So at this particular convention, it was her and I without Brian. And this cosplayer's mind was blown. You were at a con with Yaya and her husband wasn't there? I'm like, no, I've known Yaya for years. Really? And then I could see not the stars, I can see the ladders in this cosplayer's eyes. It was like a Looney Tunes cartoon, just like the ladders are going up. They started trying to pick my brain. How'd you get to that level? Like, I was like, Yaya and I have been talking about working together for years after I met her and we exchanged business and stuff. Really? And I knew this cosplayer was on some ladder climbing shit.
So what are you doing next Tuesday?
All of a sudden, right? This person had never cared about any of my YouTube content, but when I posted that,
all of a sudden, what you doing next Friday? You know, I got this weekend free. You know, if you want to slide by my house, having a family cookout in the backyard, you know, if you want to slide through.
Yeah, and night and day, this same cosplayer. And it's like, isn't it bad enough you're trying to ladder climb your own significant other? Now you trying to ride my dick until the foreskin falls off? Like, come on.
He did not go there.
It's so obvious, but that's how it be in the cosplay world.
I know. Seriously, to just be like, you think that this person's genuinely trying to be your friend sometimes. And it's like,
no.
I know you. I can see right through you. You might as well be made out of Windex. I can see right through you.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
Okay, let's bring it to a personal level. If you guys haven't figured it out by now, after all these podcast episodes, Shana and I are together. We are a couple. We are a cosplay couple. We're a real life couple. Whatever you want to call it. We've been slapping cheeks for a minute now.
What the fuck? Somebody in the background would be like, I knew it. I knew it.
I knew it.
Out of nowhere, like, yeah, everybody knows.
It's like that meme with Leonardo DiCaprio. I knew it. But yes, Shana and I have been together for a while, but we have an interesting history of our cosplay couple status. First off, a lot of people in the Midwest that have known us and have seen us together over the years, they have labeled us a cosplay power couple. How do you feel about that?
I feel that it's true because once you...
Oh, damn, wait, Shana just out the gate like, yeah, we're a power couple. Okay.
It's true because where we came from was a place of mutual interest.
Uh-huh.
We were both already in the community, the cosplay community, nerd community, whatever have you. And you were already a big name in the cosplay community in the Midwest. I was not. But you pushed me to be who I wanted to be.
Yeah.
You never said, hey, I need you to cosplay this thing just because I'm going to go to this function on the weekend.
Yeah.
You never said, hey, I need you to film me real quick and do this or whatever. Not until years later. But
yes, I used to throw the camera in Shauna's hand all the time when I would perform. I'm like, hey, someone got to film my performance. Unfortunately, it's you.
At the very least, you make me hold your drink. But I was there. I was already there for a mutual interest.
Oh my God, as many Red Bulls as Shana has held for me during photo shoots, but we'll talk about that
and
later.
your tuna and Cheez-Its.
Oh my God. Don't
hold my tuna.
Hold my tuna, girl. All right, anyway, sorry, go on.
Over the years, it's just been what I've always been doing before I met you, and then just you pushed me to be better at it.
Yeah.
And to do more of it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I got into this community more and more and more after I met you is when I really put myself out there in that way. Mm-hmm. I did cosplay conventions. I did fashion shows. I did all kinds of things within the community. That is what really solidified who I am today. But when I think about us being a power couple, it is true because this whole time we've just gone hand in hand with cosplaying, with videography, with when you did your music. I was in your videos and I held the camera for that too. And I helped out with a lot of that stuff too. People just saw us grow together.
Yeah.
And they saw each other's contributions in each other's lives. And it's just been a mutual thing. It's just been like a tag team duo throughout the years. You can see it in videos. You can see it in pictures. It's just been that. Yeah. And it's been nothing else. So it's not hard to see it. And it's there.
Yeah.
I've helped you. You've helped me. It's just been a whole big, thing between us.
Yeah, not gonna lie. I've made Shana do double duty. I've made her be the video vixen, like the hot girl in the video, and I made her be the cameraman. I'm like, all right, Shana, for this scene, I need you to hold the camera because there's no one else to film me do this part for the music video. So Shana's been in like a sexy cosplay, and she's like, all right, ready, go. And she's filming me. And,
rolling.
Yeah. And I've performed on stage and Shana has danced for a song and then she's got off stage and filmed me. So Shana's been a real one through all my endeavors.
But it's just been like a thing. Like
it's a thing, yeah.
It's never been something you forced me to do that I wasn't doing anyway. It's just a new skill or a new thing and I've always stepped in. And that's why I'll be bold and say I compare us to Yaya and Brian in that way. Yeah. Maybe on a lower tier because we're not as big as them, but we still have a lot of features about that whole thing. It's like I will always step in whenever he needs something. He will always step in anytime I need something. Anytime I need a photographer, anytime I need somebody to just step in and learn something real quick, I'll do the same even though I don't want to. But like I'll step in and do the same thing. And that's the same thing what Brian and Yaya do all the time.
Like when I first met Shana, I saw a lot of her potential. So anyways, let me pause that right there. A backstory of my dating life after I got out of a certain relationship. I told myself, I'm never going to date a basic bitch ever again. And what I mean by that is just I can't date someone that has no life goals, no inspirations, no dreams. I don't care if you're never successful, but if you never want to do better than live a basic 9-to-5 life, I can't be with you because unfortunately that's going to bring me down. I want to be with someone that has hopes and dreams so we can motivate each other. So when I met Shana had dreams of being a fashion designer, and that was enough for me, but I saw her potential. I'm like, Shana is a bad bitch. Like, she can model, she can make. I saw dollar signs, honestly. When I saw Shana and the things she had to offer, I saw dollar signs. So that's why
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching. And that's why I pushed her to just do whatever she could with the talent she had. So like, Shana was a fashion designer. She was a model. When I met her, like, she already had these things going for herself. She was already doing cosplay commissions before cosplay commissions were a thing. Aww. But that's how I knew she was a bad bitch. Not just physically, but on a mental and hustle level. People were coming to her like, Shana, I know you know how to sew. Can you make me this costume? Like, Shana made an Ichigo costume for the same guy like 16 times because he kept wanting to better his Ichigo costume. But Shana was already doing her thing. And I was like, man, this girl's already out there hustling. And to me, to fan service Renji, there's nothing sexier than a girl out there hustling, trying to get it and do it big, trying to better her life. And on top of that, Shana was like the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen in my life. So her being super physically attractive and on this hustle shit, and she was talented, I was like,
mind blown.
I had to change my panties on site. Again, that's a whole nother story that we'll get into later, but Shana was just the most impressive package of a person I've ever seen. And me being the team leader I've been in my crews in my life.
He's an Aries.
If I see someone's potential, I'm going to push them to it. I wasn't making, but I was encouraging Shana to just exploit every talent she had. Anyways, what we're talking about, I just went on a whole spiral of
Shana appreciation post.
Shana appreciation moment. If you're not willing to step up and brag about your significant other, then who will? And I'm so proud of Shana. It's like, I love bragging about her so much. And I'm glad my Facebook followers and Instagram followers haven't like gotten mad at me, you know, because like Shana's accomplishments are real and they're not forced. They're not, oh, look at my boyfriend. He ate a cheesecake today. Yay. For all the mean girls people out there, stop trying to make fetch happen, because your boyfriend or girlfriend named Fetch is not going to happen. That brings me up to the next topic. A lot of these cosplay couples, they're trying so hard to make fetch happen, and it's not. I'm sorry. Your girlfriend or boyfriend ain't that cute in cosplay. Not because they're not a cute person. You can see it spiritually. They don't want to do this shit.
Oh, yeah. You can always see the look on someone's face when they're not passionate about something. Yeah. And you can always feel the energy when someone's not willing to be there. Hint, every fast food restaurant you've gone to through the drive-thru, and they're just like, welcome to Wendy's, welcome to Taco Bell, welcome. That person, you can't pay them enough to have passion for working at freaking Taco Bell or whatever the case. You can't pay them enough, because if they don't want to be there already, guess what? It's not going to show on their faces. It's not going to ever appeal to you in that kind of way.
The cosplay couples that force each other to cosplay, you can see in the pictures. You can see it at the con. They'll be like, oh, this is my girlfriend, Shana. And Shana will be like,
I guess, hey.
Shoulder slump, boo-boo face, like she just farted and it went in her own nose. Like, I met this con. I don't like it. And it always shows. Then on social media, this person be like, look at Shana, look at Shana, look at Shana. But then you go to Shana's page and she will never post a cosplay picture of herself.
It's just me fishing or me like doing taxes. Or
like the Shana in that example is embarrassed of cosplaying, embarrassed of being part of that world. So
don't tell my real estate friends.
Yeah, so it's like you can't force someone in that world. Or we bring it to the photographer example, right? They'll take amazing pictures of other people, but when they take pictures of their significant other, it looks like shit. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. let me flex real quick because when Shana posts pictures that I take of her, she looks amazing. Mm-hmm. Her and I have come to an agreement of what we like for her to look like. But Shana will post the pictures I take of her, and she always looks good. I've seen some of these couples with forced photographer relationships. The pictures they post, the cosplayer looks like shit. I'm not even sorry, but it looks like they took a shit and they smelt it real quick, and the photographer's like, okay, I got you. They be looking like this. Wondering who took a shit on their face. If they posted that picture, that means that was the best picture in that set.
Oh, yeah.
And that makes you wonder what the bad pictures look like. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but so many of these forced cosplayer photographer relationships, they post the most terrible pictures. Mm-hmm. The photographer, I'm going to give him his credit or her credit. The overall composition of the picture may look great. The lighting's on point, color, everything's right. But when you see how the cosplayer looks, they got a boo-boo face on, that's when you know that photographer didn't give a shit what the cosplayer looked like. All they cared was the composition of the picture was amazing. And they're going to wash their hands clean like, it ain't my fault if this cosplayer looked like shit. Yo, but that's your significant other. You should care if they look like shit.
Right?
And we've seen that time and time again. No, let's make it personal. Shana and I did a group cosplay with a certain photographer cosplay couple. I just feel bad for him. He actually went to school for photography and videographer, but his life has amounted to being her personal photographer. We got some decent pictures as a group, but her personal pictures, it's like, for all the Mad TV fans out there, but because you can tell that he was not passionate about taking her personal pictures. Even though that's his significant other, you could tell he was over it. He's taking way better pictures of other people, and that's when you know it's a problem. With all that said, how do you feel about the cosplay power couple title? Like, do you want to be known as that, or?
If you are something, your peers and your fans and your followers are going to deem you that. So for me to want to be a power couple, or me wanting to be famous, or me wanting to do this and that, whatever, because I've heard it all. I've heard from people that they think that I'm famous, they think that I'm this. It's all subjective.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I guess I will never myself say I'm this or I'm that.
Yeah.
Because when you start doing that, you look fake, and you look like you're not about your shit.
Yeah.
Because once you start doing that, you have to be on the ball.
Yeah.
You got to keep throwing it at them. You got to keep doing new things. You got to keep being an innovator. And that's a lot of pressure for one person to keep up with.
Yeah.
So, to answer your question, I will never say me and Renji are a power couple. You will never hear that come out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Because my followers and my friends and people who know us and people who've seen us on social media and from afar have said that about us or to us. Even with anything, I'm never going to tell you what I am. You can tell me what you think I am.
Yeah.
And I will ride that till the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, no.
With that being said, no.
I say all of that to say no.
No.
Because it's not necessary.
Yeah.
If you are who you say you are, then that should be it.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I should say, if you are who you portray yourself to be, that's what you are.
Yeah.
So why would you have to say it?
Yeah, I feel that. You shouldn't ever have to tell people who you are. What you do shows people who you are. And that's the bottom line. Like, what's that old saying? Those who do the least talk the most shit.
Yep.
People that are out there ain't doing shit will find the most things to talk about and to brag about to make them appear better than they are. People out there making moves, doing things, you never know about it.
And I want you guys to get that full spectrum of what we're trying to talk about. Go to Barnes & Noble, pick up a copy of Forbes, look through that magazine, and I dare you to pick out somebody you don't know and read about them and tell me how much money they make. Have you ever heard of that person? Have you ever seen that person on social media? Have you ever seen them like anywhere and doing anything? No. Because those people make their money. Those people aren't trying to be in the limelight. They're not telling you, I'm a singer, I'm a rapper, it's like nobody cares about the people on like the back burner, people who just write the songs, people who just take the picture, or people who just do the architecture behind the big building that you know today as the Empire State Building. You don't know those people who do that because they're silent money makers. Yeah. And that's honestly where I want to be. It's like, I don't need you to know who I am. I just need to make my money, and that's it.
Yeah. Facts. Anyways, that brings us back to the original question of, do you want to be known as a cosplay power couple? No. No. We just want to live our life, make our money, and be successful. And that's all that matters. It's like, so many people are so concerned about boasting about their success, especially in the cosplay world. You don't need to do that. You don't have to put up this fake front or force this title like we're a cosplay couple, we're a cosplay power couple. But the people that are actual power couples never label themselves that. No. And that's what a lot of these people need to understand. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. There's so many cosplayers that you don't see as guests at cons or on flyers for events. Some of these cosplayers make more money than some of your quote-unquote popular cosplayers. Mm-hmm. They're moving in silence. They're doing what they're doing. So many people are quick to praise numbers on Instagram and Facebook, but some of these people ain't making money. They ain't doing shit. I can attest to that because I know people who are at 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers, 200,000 followers. I'll dare say damn near 1 million who still have part-time jobs. So those numbers don't mean shit. And on that same breath, I know people that have 10,000 followers or less that don't even work because they make money off of cosplay in one way or another. Don't let the titles, don't let the hype fool you. All right, y'all, it's getting to that point where we need to cut it short. So make sure you follow us on all the social medias. Yo, our live streams on Twitch be poppin'. Fanservice_Renji, Shana_Mostella.
If anything, tune into pajama parties on Fridays. That should be lit. We be having drinks. We be telling stories. We be talking shit. We be doing all kinds of things. And y'all can join in live right there when we're on camera and we're all hanging out with people. If you've ever wanted to hang out with us, if you've ever wanted to ask us anything, that's the chance to do it on Fridays. Pajama party is lit. You're with us.
Oh, it is. It is. Like, it's gotten so lit where I had to go back and delete the VOD video afterwards because I be saying some outrageous shit that I can't edit because it's live. And I'm like, you know what? Delete the video. No one needs to see this if they didn't see it live. And that's it. Like, that's how lit it be getting.
It's very candid.
Delete the evidence. Renji and Shana did not say any of this shit. It is gone.
If you were there, if you know, you know.
Yeah. Like those memes say, you just had to be there.
Don't have a case of FOMO. Join us on Fridays. We be a little bit ratchet sometimes, so don't miss out.
Oh, yeah. A little? No, we got super ratchet.
Not a lot.
We got super ratchet. I told the story about dick puppets a couple weeks ago. So if you were there, you would have heard the story about dick puppets. So,
but now it's deleted. Yep. You missed out.
Y'all missed out on that one already.
Renji did. Renji put his legs up in the stirrups.
Put your legs down. Ain't no one need to know about that. They got to tune in and ask me to retell that story, and maybe I will. But all right, guys, we appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate your support. Make sure you follow all the social medias because we got all kinds of content, you know. We try to stay well-rounded on Instagram, Facebook, OnlyFans, Twitch, YouTube. So we here. So with that said, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Shinobi Squad Podcast. I'm Fanservice Renji.
I'm Shana Mostella.
We shall see you guys next week.
See ya. Bye.